Here are with Talikek as he debate a college students, and he says that if she don't have a nose piercing, then she might have won the debate. I believe that is going to be a very interesting one. So without any further ado, let's get on to the video and then check this out.
Do you view democracy as an American value, something that's very important to the fabric of this country?
No. Where is democracy in the U.S. Constitution?
Oh, okay. So are you...
No, hold on. Where is the word democracy?
I don't think the word democracy is in the Constitution.
So where is the word democracy in any of the founding fathers?
A lot of the founding fathers had extremely elitist viewpoints around who should...
Hold on. I just want to... You said the word democracy, so I want to get back to our roots.
Yes.
Where is democracy mentioned? In the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, or the Declaration?
I think it's good that this country has moved away from things that were explicitly
believed
by the founding
in the Federalist
fathers.
Papers, and it's mentioned negatively as a problem. So you ask me, is democracy a fundamental American value? I say no.
Okay.
Because I go back to our roots. And Hamilton, Madison, and Jay...
Oh, I know that Hamilton was anti-democracy.
No, well, hold on,
these people thought that people should be owned as
I want to be clear. I am pro-representative government,
but
I'm not pro-democracy. That's a big difference, and that distinction's important. But you asked very specifically about democracy, which is not an American value. It never has been and never should be, because what is democracy? Democracy is majority rule no matter what. That there's no provisions of checks and balances, no inalienable rights, no separation of powers, pure if the majority gets it, the majority wants it as quickly as possible.
I don't advocate pure democracy. I do understand that we live in a representative, like we live in a republic, and I understand these things.
Representative government.
Okay.
And you might say I'm splitting hairs on words, but I'm not.
Well, just coming from a place where on some level we have a level of democracy in this country and people vote and it is part of their civic duty to vote.
Sure.
Yes. Do you not think it is in the greater interest of this country at large that its citizens are as educated as possible to therefore be able to participate in that system?
I think they should be as wise as possible, and I don't think that education and wisdom are the same thing.
Yeah,
in fact,
I understand.
I think college disincentivizes the cultivation of wisdom.
In the age where there is such a hypersaturation of, and we've seen this, like extremely polarizing, different, like people are getting their news from wildly different sources.
Yes.
People just don't interact with the other side at all. Do you think that being an autodidact in any sense of the term is going to give you a thorough and rigorous education if you are so likely to end up sucked into these holes where you're never interacting with people who
That's not my only form of learning. I meet a lot of cool people. I learn from people like you and others. I mean, I'm listening when you're talking. It's not just a shtick. You haven't won me over on any of it, but you had an opportunity to. But I'm glad you attempted to. But yeah, I mean, you learn in other ways other than just sitting in a classroom, listening to a professor drone on for 90 minutes and pretending to read his book and paying $20,000 a semester to cheat on the exam at the end of the semester.
I think college is what you make of it. I think
I agree. So is life.
People are selling themselves short on their education if they don't.
You can listen to as many podcasts as you want. You can meet interesting people. And
academia does have an actual level of You have to prove that you're worth your salt, at least to have peer-reviewed papers published, which you don't have to do to start a podcast.
If you get a PhD, yes, but hold on. So is your contention that I'm not informed or not worldly or not wise? I want to be clear.
I'm not making any claims about your specific level of being informed. I'm saying the general rhetoric on the right against education, against higher education specifically.
Why do you think it is? Is it because you think we hate smart people, or is it that there's something happening here that we really think is troubling?
I think it's much easier to control people who are less educated.
See, now you're a conspiracy theorist. So, no, it's...
Anti-intellectualism is a hallmark of fascism.
Do you think we're against higher education because it largely has created an ungrateful, unprepared generation that goes into the American body politic and does not share the core American values of freedom of speech, gratitude for our founding, consent of the governed? In fact, it's hyper-radical. And it's against our traditions, our norms, and our customs, and it's created massive fissures. We call that the woke mind virus, if you will.
Okay, that makes...
It's not because people are easier to control. In fact, we love learning. I learn every day. In fact, that's why I'm pro-Hillsdale College, where it's probably one of the hardest colleges in the country to get into and graduate from. The problem is that when you are learning largely trash and crap, and you're not going in the pursuit of truth, beauty, or goodness, and you're not trying to inculcate wisdom or good character...
There's no oversight on online political punditry to make sure that you're in pursuit of wisdom and goodness.
No, of course
you directly profit from propagating viewpoints that are more polarizing and that suck people deeper into more conspiratorial thinking.
Hold on. So what you're doing is you're actually insulting the audience, not me. because the vast majority of this audience actually enjoys watching my videos and they enjoy hearing from me.
I never said your audience didn't enjoy watching your videos.
Because you say I'm profiting. The way
you do profit, like you financially, you make a ton of
money
money from getting more clicks.
The audience rewards me because they find that I bring some value.
Well, I don't
and that they
necessarily
learn something
think
from
that
me.
whatever gets
I
the
want to get
most
to the next
eyes
question.
on a specific.
But
yeah,
it's
no,
easy to attack me as exploitation. What I say is actually very popular and resonates with people. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a very interesting one, of course, listening to the lady, of course, trying to make a point, especially on democracy. But then hearing Charlie Kirk, in a sense, talking about democracy not being part of American values, yes, it's true. But then at some point it tends to be adopted or is being adopted, and then that's what is being used, in a sense, in electing people into offices. And then that is the reason why, of course, he has been advocating for people to go and vote. So imagine that democracy is not there, which is basically always about, in a sense, the majority rule. But imagine that the democracy is not there. Maybe probably we could have been maybe in some kind of monarchy, or maybe probably having some of the monk, you understand, ruling us, right? But then that's why America decided to adapt it, right? So if the democracy, in a sense, is not there, then why do you have to advocate for people to go and vote? It means that it's actually the majority that will definitely still rule, right? So that's my own position, you understand, on that. But then coming to issue about, in a sense, people, in a sense, going to school, to whatever they come to learn, whether they actually get whatever they are supposed to learn, or maybe probably people are being prepared for job opportunities. Well, it's just up to many individuals, even though majority of people always go to colleges basically because they want to get a job, or maybe probably they want to have a pay rise, and not basically based on beauty or based on truth or based on goodness. No, people tend not to do so, which is supposed to be like that. Like you can be able to at least acquire wisdom. When we are talking, you can be able to have some kind of knowledge, right? And then when you're able to apply those knowledge, is called wisdom. So those are some of the things that we expect, in a sense, from people. But then at the end of the day, the reverse is the case. That is not what, in a sense, we are getting. And then that is the reason why, in a sense, people end up, in a sense, going to school without actually understanding what they are going to become at the end of the programs. And then that's why they will go to school, they will graduate, and then probably you go to a job place and you may not be required, or even if you understand you have been employed, then you got to realize that whatever you go and get the degree from, that you may not actually, in a sense, make use of some of them. Well, some might argue and say that, well, at least you have the exposure, you are able to meet people, you network with people, you get to meet several people from different, in a sense, field. So that very exposure, in a sense, matters. Well, of course, it's actually, in a sense, a logical one. But then if you look at it, in a sense, in depth, it shows that people tend to spend a lot, okay, in colleges. But then at the end of the day, when you finish and then maybe probably you get a job, then you got to realize that technically maybe probably you didn't really need it. And then that's why I see most people, you understand, even the time we are small, our parents always advocate that either you're a doctor or a lawyer, you understand, those are, or an engineer. Those are the most of the things, you understand, they always say that we should be. Well, maybe probably some of us were lucky enough at least to be in one of the three. That's it. But then it's not everyone that had that very opportunity. For instance, even while I was in school, of course, I was even the international student president, despite the fact that, you understand, I was an engineering, you understand, student. But it does not stop me from communicating, right? Even my opponent that I even won an election was actually a communication, you understand, student. But yet, you understand, I was able to win. Why? You understand? So I will not say that, understand, do some certain things that we may study may not necessarily, understand, limit us, but then it's not up to we as an individual. What do we decide for ourselves, or what do we see of ourselves, or what do we think, understand, we can do? Those are some of the things, understand, that will comes to play. But nevertheless, I know that a lot of you have an opinion concerning this, and I wanted to drop it at the comment section. But then I think I kind of like, understand, the boldness, understand, and the confidence the lady really really have. But then I want to also hear your thought and opinion at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. This is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, you should like, share and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.